The Navi Yeshai says, "Lo esecher in api, ye'oshev l'shachas Ephraim." I will not do like my anger feels to do. Hashem talking, ye'oshev l'shachas Ephraim. I won't return to destroy Ephraim. Ki kalu neichiv leish. I'm a God. I'm not a person, and I will not say a lie. Rashi explained that this is avtacha that Hashem said in the Torah, "Afgam zeis beis meis and I'm astem Hashem promised that He will not destroy us, and He would not cancel His covenant with us. Hashem has said, "I'm a God, and even though you deserve to be destroyed, you deserve to be punished severely, but I promised you, I swore to you, and I will not go back on my word. I will not only when until it's Bekir b'Chakadosh, only when it's Hashem, the Kadosh is within you, only when you will return to the Shalayim Shamata, then I will turn to Shalayim Shamayla. But if not, v'lo ava be'ir. Until then, I will not come to Shalayim Shamayla. But when that will happen, you know what's going to happen with that? When Hashem returns to Shalayim Shamayla, together with you to the Shalayim Shamata, Achrei Hashem yelchu. Everyone will return behind Hashem. Hashem will come and return, and Achrei Hashem yelchu. We will go out behind Hashem. כאריה yishag, like a lion that screams, that roars. That's how we will go behind Hashem. Ki he yishag, because he will roar. And his children, which are beyond the ocean, far away, will be very scared. It means they will tremble and return to him. What does this mean? That after Hashem we will go like a roaring lion, like a roaring lion, which his children are far away, they hear him. Mephibosheth David says that just like when a lion roars, all the animals come to hear what he has to say, like a king, because he's the king of them. So too, when Hashem will return to Yerushalayim, he will roar. And what does it mean? He will roar. Ya'urer halavavos ke'ili yishak b'kol. All the hearts will be nis'urr, will wake up, and the kids, Yisrael, הנקראים, בנים, למקום, ימהרו, לבוא, מפאס. Hashem's children, which will wake up to return from over the oceans. So what do we see over here? That when Hashem the pasuk is saying that when Hashem will return to Yerushalayim Shamata and Yerushalayim Shamala, his return will be together with a roar that will awaken all the hearts, and it will make return all those children from far away, which have never heard him for such a long time. In Parak Shir it says, the Arya Omer. What does the Arya say? Hashem kigiba yaitzei, keish mochomes yorikina. Hashem will go out like a strong kigibar, and like a person that fights the wars. Yorikina, he will wake up his anger, his kina, and he will destroy his oivim. Af yitzriach al oivav yisgaber. On the pasuk Arya Yesha'ag Mila, when a lion roars, who doesn't get scared? The Parak Shir it says, what's he saying? The Indian is that the lion roars to show his strength, and everyone gets terrified from him because he knows how to fight wars. So when we're talking about our lion's roar, we're talking about a roar which wakes up the hearts, the faint of hearts. When you see that lion chasing that zebra or that deer, everyone backs off with those fangs, with that kina. Everyone gets terrified from the king of the wilderness, and that wakes up the hearts. And the children, which know that this is for them, this is a meal for them. It's not only for him. They wake up and they come join him. So when it says Achrei Hashem yelchu Kaarya yishag, you'll go after Hashem like a roaring lion. What is a roaring lion? A lion that roars to destroy his enemies, to feed his children. It says in the pasuk, "Achre Hashem elkeichem telechu," Dvarim Yud Gimel, v'oiseh tiro. After Hashem, you should go, and you should fear from Him. It's similar to the words of this pasuk in Yeshaya. Achre Hashem yalechu, v'yechru banim b'yam, and the children will fear from Him, from the Yeshag. Same thing. So what does it mean over there? The Ramban explains, what do you mean, Achre Hashem yalechu? Hashem is not a person. You can't go behind Him. Zok the Ramban that Hashem is going to do Oises and Moifsim. The free says, means what it means to say is that Hashem is going to make Oisim. It's going to be clear that this is from Hashem. It will be evident that Hashem is mixing the Shalom pot, and will come running to eat from the Shalom pot. So that's what Achre Hashem Elecho means, that Hashem is going to do stuff which is going to be clear that this is Him. Kaarya Yeshag. He will roar like a lion. We will see that our Father has woken up, and he woke up with Him all the hearts. The whole world has returned to recognize that Hashem is with Yisrael. Hashem, like the Nasiv Shalom said, that Hashem has done with us Nisim, that He has never done before. And Hashem, and many Gedolim said that, and actually the Rebbe from Chukei from Shem Emunim Rebbe, he says that Hashem's whole hanhag with Klal Yisrael has changed since the 6 Day War. Since the 6 Day War, Hashem hadn't stopped doing Nisim with the Yidden. Tremendous Nisim Geluyim with the wars and daily Nisim, which we see the enemies try to destroy us and they're not capable of. Every time they start up with us, they get a mapala. Yes, sometimes we have growing pains, but Hashem is with us. After Hashem elkeichem telechu. After Hashem yelchu kaarya yeshag. We will go after Hashem like Arya Yeshag. Those are the nisim from the Mechamis. We were married in the pasuk. Ashrecha Yisrael michem oicha am noishav Hashem mogen ezrecha. Moshe ben Enz of the Torah. Greatest for you. What kind of nation is like you that Hashem helps in the war? That your cherev, your sword is for your gaiva. You will step on them, your enemies. That the idea is that Hashem gives Yidden Atzlacha, Ben Rechai and others in the war, that the Goyim should be scared of us, tremble of us. And our covenant in the world should be brought up. And all those nations that fought the Yidden in the 6 Day War all got destroyed. And our covenant, whether they were supposed to be, whether they had the power to win us or not, that's not Nagaya. The whole world saw the covenant that Hashem, the Shemaya Hashem gave to us, that He woke us up. Yes, He gave us the koich to destroy, was it 6 nations, 7 nations, we'll destroy them and triple our boundaries. It was a roar like never before. A roar that we didn't hear, Nisim, which we didn't hear for over 1,000 years, to almost 2,000 years. And that's when Reb Cheskel Bramsky said this, Ashrech Yisrael michem oicha am noishav Hashem, that Hashem is the only one. Ashrech Yisrael michem oicha am noishav Hashem. Who is like you? What is you? Hashem help you. If Hashem help you, you're going to ask the question, why do you need a sword? Why do you need a sword? Gavasecha, to have gaiva. From the Umas Olam, they should look up to you, they should give you covenant. That's what he said during the 6 Day War, after the 6 Day War. And Ibn Chaim Sholevitz also said, he said, I'm not a Navi. I'm telling you what a Navi would say. I'm a simple person. A Navi would say, Nochoin kisacho meyoz. That Hashem, your kisei HaKavod, who has been put away, has been avegestelt, strong. It's not sure the word in English. That your kisei HaKavod has been settled since which is really going on the Oz Yosher. Chazal says going on when the Yidden said Oz Yoshem Moshe Yisrael, that's when everyone saw the Kisek Hashem in the world. Sagt Chaim Shulevitz, Rosh Yeshiva from here, that if the Navi would be today around today, he would also say Nachak Kesachem Yoz, that we were Zeiche to be misgaber on all the Olam, destroy the nations of the world, the Arab nations, and that's when everyone saw Kvod Shemayim in the world. And he said, the Goyen wrote that if I would be Zeiche to be by Shar Shemayim, I will daven for you. And he says, Rabbi said, we were Zeiche to be by the Kaisel Maravi, to be give Shrach Vaidah to Hashem, that your name has been recognized in the world. And I'm saying it b'shem the whole yeshiva, his yeshiva, Shvach L'Adol HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that what you did to us now, when you brought us and you made your Kisei Kavod known in the world, recognized in the world, and you brought us to your Makam Kodshecha. So that was the roar, that was Kaarya Yeshag, that the world saw nothing Kisei Biyaz, that the Kisei Hashem, the Makam Migdash, Yishalayim Shal Ma'ala and Shal Mata, it's Bafestik, became strong, and that was the roar of the 6 Day War. And what happened afterwards? What happened afterwards was amazing. The Yidden started doing tshuva. That's when the 6 Day War. That's when the tshuva movement became clear to everyone that it started. Not only to Gedolei Yisrael, so the little dripping from before. The Yaakov Kamenetsky said that all the Yidden in Russia, that actually after so many years of the communists just taking out every odor of Yiddishkeit they had, just trying to destroy every flicker, every flame of Judaism, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because there was a 6 Day War, and that's what gave them the confidence to come out and be Jewish and to stand up for their rights. Even after all that time that the Russians tried to destroy it, and they did destroy a lot. But this woke up them. And if not this, would not wake up. Yitzhak Zilber, his son, Yitzhak Zilber was famous, the tzaddik from Russia, that he said that when we look back to the 6 Day War, the Hasiris of the Hasiris, what the Yidden had in the 6 Day War, was a big pachad in Israel and the whole world about what's going to be the Yidden. And the Yidden in Russia, that didn't know anything about Yiddishkeit, they were also in a tremendous pachad for their brothers in Eretz Israel. And they were all interested in it. And what they were interested in, Hashem made a major nest in Yeshua, and such a destruction to the Arab nations. They came to understand that the Yidden are different than all other nations, and that they're a nation of Torah and mitzvahs, and that woke them up. And this is what his father, Rabbi Yitzchak Zilber, was mechazek in between the Skarvim Hashem, the Tshuva movement. That's what brought them back. Like I said before the Shem Emunim Rebbe with the Balchuk Chaim says that since the 6 Day War we see Hashem is hugging us. It was a Gulus HaNefesh. Our Nefesh had a Gula. We were in certain sleeping mode of a Kaarya Yeshag. Hashem was Ma'uril Halvavos. It says it brings down from Nosen Teres Nosen from Talmud from the Rizal, then the year Toshri Chavzayin, the year 6 Day War, there's going to be a Gula. He said, what is this Gula? This is the Gula from the Nefashis. Our hearts woke up. He says that after the 6 Day War in Russia, there were 15,000 Jews, children, Bacharim. They didn't know what it means to be a Jew, communist. And he says over that some of these children that were under communism came to him, and he told them to eat, to make a bracha, and he said, they asked him, why should we make a bracha? So he said, what do you mean Hashem gave us to eat? He says, what do you mean? Stalin gives us to eat. That's what they said when they came to him. I don't know if it came to him, sorry, but that's what they told people. They didn't know what it means. But then, by the 6th Day War, 15,000 children were dancing. They came to the Smedish and were dancing. They were singing Am Yisrael Chai. And there were a bunch of the Gestapos, KGBs, KGBs, and they were sure they're going to be sent to Siberia. But that's when the Baal Tshuva movement started. And that's when everything started. He says, I remember that when we were going to the Kaisel the first time, after the 6th Day War, we bumped into the army, the soldiers. And when they would see the Yiddish, the Charedim of Hashem, they'll give them covet. Yidden, the Shemitah Mitzvahs, understood that were recognized that their schus to major listen. And I was reading, I heard that even in the Arab countries, the Yidden were scared to put on to dress like Yidden in the public. After the 6th Day War, they started dressing like Yidden. And that's what started the next Tniyah. That's what started the next Tniyah that's what started the Tniyah Satshuva. If Shlomo Wolbe in Ilma Yedidus, in the Sefer which he wrote for about the Tkufah from the 6th Day War to the Yom Kippur War. So yes, we're saying that from the 6th Day War, that's when Tshuva started. But it wasn't just with the 6th Day War. It started with the 6th Day War and ended with the Yom Kippur War. That kufa changed the whole picture, the whole game. The whole Shlomo Wolbe writes that after the 6th Day War, everyone felt something clicked. I heard once from Shmuel Eliyahu was speaking about how the electricity in the ear was something. Everyone felt uplifted. Everyone felt they belonged to something bigger than they are. They belong to the Bnei Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov. They belong to Hashem. And that's when people started being interested in Yiddishkeit. They were unbelievable, the service of the Nisim, what happened to them. It was tremendous amount of Nisim. But, Zut Shlomo Wolbe, you should know, it didn't last forever. Eventually, the Hesiris from the Nisim lasted, stopped. And he says but when it came to the Yom Kippur War, that took it to the next level. Because there was something with the 6th Day War, even though they realized that Hashem was in there, but over the time, as the time went along, they forgot what they saw. They just only remembered what they did. They were part of a tremendous crushing victory. And they started thinking about themselves. They forgot about the Eibishter. But when it came to the Yom Kippur War, which started off with a surprise attack, and they failed tremendously, even though they ended up winning the war with Osanism, but there was a tremendous letdown. Everyone speaks about this. It was a tremendous letdown. The 6th Day War, after the Yom Kippur War, in the in the belief in the Medina, it was only 7 years later. And after the Yom Kippur War, the whole thing changed. That's when the yeshiva started being built, and people started coming, and Baal Tshuva started, because until then there was still a feeling of we still had a hand in it. Now they saw that the Medina had nothing to do with it. You saw they were caught by surprise. So what happened last time? It was all Hashem. Only Hashem. So that Hesiris, which woke up then, now actually took its dramatic change into the life. And thousands of people started doing tshuva. Dr. Shlomo Wolbe, I believe with the big emunah that Yad Hashem Ashgoch Al Yoino, Manhigo Isanu, the Yad Hashem is being Manigo Isanu. He's taking us in the last Milchamas, which came to be Ya'urer and bring Yidden closer to Hashem. Hashgoch Al Yoino Zimnalonu Zmat Tshuva L'Kol. Hashgoch Al Yoino is called us to it's time for tshuva for everyone. A bunch of animams he has. Ki reishis eskarvis la'yihidis hoya mitzvah. I believe with the Munah Shlema that the beginning of Hiskarvis from Tshuva is still a little bit. He says, but in the end, it's getting more and more and more. He says more kehilas, more yechidim. Everyone's opening up the eyes, and they're realizing that it wasn't kedai to leave go of Teres Hashem, which is the neshama of our nation, the neshama of our land. He says it's going to keep on getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I truly believe in that. He says, I believe with the full amunah that there's a mapecha shketa. There's a is a turnover, quiet turnover. V'amuka and deep mischoilelas b'sachenu is happening within us. It still hasn't come out to the surface. It's still deep down. After these 2 wars, the 6-day war and the Yom Kippur War, there's something rumbling. There's an earthquake rumbling within us. We still don't see. He says there's politics. There's all the news, the TV. Everyone is busy. They're trying to either trying to avoid it or to make it quiet. But he says, this doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. They try to quiet it as much as possible, but it's going to keep on getting stronger and stronger. Those quiet turnovers are going to happen, and it's going to soon give out its light to all over. Rabbi Asher Zemel was the Rav of Lev HaSharoin. He writes in his Sefer, Vidulas Marchai, that after the 6-day war, there was a tremendous series of tshuva, and people wanted to be close to Hashem. Reb Nachman Aaron Belitsky was appointed by Reb Shach to go out and speak to the Yidden that are not yet from. He was miyasid. This was the first organization. El HaMakoris, back to to our Makar, our roots, and they wrote Sfarim, and they used to bring Rabbanim to different kibbutzim. So there was a kibbutz called Ein Vered. Ein Vered was a place of bunch of Fry people that actually knew Hashem. They were Shana Parish. They came Fry people. A lot of them, and it was a really hostile environment in this kibbutz Ein Vered. And Reb Shalom Shadron, Hagoyin Agadol Shalom Shadron, was called to speak. And in the front row of the drosh, by the drasha, was a whole bunch of people that were Shana Parish. They were from and became Fry. And they were ready to eat him up. They were ready to eat up Reb Shalom. Reb Shalom came up to the Ivanon on the bima to speak, and he says, Shalom. And Reb Shalom Shadran, it's a fascinating story, started singing the famous song, Yerushalayim Shel Zav. Shalom was a great beard. Hey, the Maggid Yerushalmi. He started speaking and singing Yerushalayim Shel Zav, famous song which was composed after the Yidden went back to Yerushalayim. They conquered Yerushalayim after the 6-day war. And the Ulam was very taken aback. Whoa, Shalom Shadran. He got their attention. And afterwards he spoke, and there was arguments back and forth. His speech lasted for hours. And they didn't have enough. The Yidden they didn't have enough, and they called him back again to speak again. The Yidden were looking for Yiddishkeit. Arachim, which came up after the Elam Akaris organization, was founded from people from there. After the Yom Kippur War, they realized there wasn't enough, and they had to start a new organization. And they made a fascinating story. So they made a Shabbaton, like a seminar. They made a seminar. They opened up a new organization, Arachim. And he made a seminar, a week seminar, and they came only to, to enjoy themselves for a week. And in the end of the week, almost everyone became from. That's what was going on. That's what was going on. The whole, and that's when Arachim, that was the beginning of the hundreds of thousands of people that became Baal Teshuvos.